right, imagine a world where impossibly proportioned women travel the universe in search of kung fu and shit, and women turn into hats and people explode into Tang. I do not know why more people don't watch anime. Hello, my name is Vry, and this is my friend and co-host.
Hi, I'm Blue.
Yes.
Like the color.
Yes, that's what we meant. And so, we like anime, and I wanted to bring this about because the other day I went to the store because I wanted to buy Tiger and Bunny, which is a conversation for another day, and I walked into the store with my list, and I hunted down the store clerk, and I said, I would like this, and it's not on the shelf, can you help me out? And she went with a look of concern on her face to look in the back, and she was gone for a really long time. Like a really long time. I managed to survey the entire Star Trek collection twice, which I think may have been secretly the plot. And she came back and she said, yeah, our store didn't opt into carrying that, with this very disappointed look on her face. So, you know, I had to go on to my next part of the list, which, judging by her expression, was Backdoor Sluts 9. But it made me realize that there's not really as much a market for anime anymore. Well, there is,
but...
because
no one loves you.
God. Yeah. Well, I guess it's not right that there's not a market for anime anymore. It's just, it's not as traditional as it was. And so, I was thinking, how do people start watching it now? You know? And before we get into that, I thought we should talk about what it was like back in the old days. The old days. And it's your fault that I watch anime, kinda, sorta, so...
Oh, I've known that for years.
Right, uh-huh. So then, why do you watch anime?
Why do I watch anime? You know, I'm not really sure. It's like hypnotizing, and I can't stop.
That is like a really great pitch.
It's like meth.
Uh-huh.
You know, like they have big shiny eyes, and you can't look away. And I'm constantly confused on the science of some of the way these girls look. How do they not fall flat on their boobs? Their boobs are bigger than the rest of their body, and they have tiny feet. They should technically not be able to stand up straight.
They're like dragons. It's aerodynamically impossible, but we keep on plugging.
I see.
Yes. But, I mean, when we were watching anime on TV, which is where you kind of did it, it was a lot of Sailor Moon and a lot of, like, Speed Racer.
Oh, God, I remember Speed Racer.
Right? And you don't quite question when you're 4 years old why the lips don't really match up and his eyes have weird extra shinies in them. And
yeah, I thought that's what hypnotizes people into watching anime, is the big shinies in their eyes.
But that's always what people bring up. It's like, the eyes are weird. Why did they take up a third of their face? Actually, it's Disney's fault.
That is true. I remember that.
Yeah. Osamu Tezuka, who's like the father of modern manga, which is comic books. You learned something today, kids. So the father of the modern generation of anime really, really liked old 30s Disney movies, and he brought that over, and so it's Disney's fault that you think their art looks weird. Go America?
Yay.
But anyway, I like most small girls and teenage boys, watched a lot of Sailor Moon.
Yes, I did too. I guess I didn't watch as much Sailor Moon. I watched more DBZ. And then there was Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon.
I'm not sure I even really liked Pokemon. Like,
oh, that's a lie. We all liked it
true.
In that seizure kind of way. South Park covered this.
That's exactly it. South Park covered it perfectly. It just sucked you in. Right. And you had to have them all.
Well, they know that. That's why they're still making it without any changes at all to the game.
Yep.
20 years later.
And they're still making the show. And all they do is alter 2 characters.
Yeah.
With other characters.
But we're still fucking stuck with Ash, aren't we? Even though he went through puberty. Inexplicably.
Yes, I think that was a whoops.
No, I'm pretty sure the voice actor just wanted more money.
Probably.
It's a multi-billion-dollar franchise. What do you think we're running here?
He did suddenly sound like he changed back at one point. I don't know. I have younger siblings, so I caught part of the newer ones. I stopped watching, I think, after, what, Mewtwo Strikes Back?
Yeah, no, that was the weird sequel nobody talks about.
No, it was, after... Which movie was it with Lugia?
That was Pokemon 2000.
Yes, I stopped watching after Pokemon 2000.
Oh man, I made it a whole nother movie. I made it to Pokemon 3, which is where it really ramps up.
Oh.
Yes. My parents hated me. Well, and we had Toonami, which is back now, although it's back owned by a single company. And
there's also Inuyasha.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was Adult Swim. So there was Toonami, which was after school, and it was 3 hours of anime, and it was just cartoons and stuff. And then they had the Toonami Midnight Run, which was on Saturdays from midnight to 1, and that was really exciting because they would have anime with blood in it, and sometimes people swore, and they were like, cartoons with swearing, because this was a little bit before Family Guy, and we all felt very grown up. And then that turned into Adult Swim before they hated anime and moved it to one night a week.
Yes. They used to be on every day.
Oh, they were good times. I
think what really got me into anime is just movies like Spirited Away and Grave of the Fireflies. That's what got me more into, serious anime, because Pokemon was oh yeah, we forgot to mention Digimon.
Oh, everyone forgets to mention Digimon.
Poor Digimon.
It's like the footnote on the history of America.
It was really much better than Pokemon.
It also had a cleaver taken to its face. Much more than Pokemon had to. Except for the aggressive attempt to convince us that those were really odd, white, ball-shaped sandwiches.
Yes.
Because kids are stupid.
Yep.
Apparently.
Don't you know? You were a kid once, you should know.
Yeah, well, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh!, so clearly there was something wrong there.
Yes, you did watch Yu-Gi-Oh!
They all had inexplicably pointy hair. They played card games, and that was awesome for some reason. It was awesome. I still have those DVDs. I will have them forever.
I will admit, I did like the Japanese version you showed me, where when they lost the card game, they went to hell. So...
Yeah. Of course, we guessed because those subtitles were about as accurate as throwing a...
They went to hell. I like that. You lose a child's card game, you're gonna go to hell.
Didn't you collect Pokemon cards?
Yes, I still have them in the attic, because I convinced myself as a young child that they would be worth money someday.
We were all living that lie.
Yeah, I did not know how to play with those. They were just shiny. I put them in my book.
Well, it was a commitment if you wanted to actually play with them. You had to buy, these tokens and shit, and you had to get packs, and people were angry, and then people stole your cards. Somebody stole my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in 8th grade, and I'm going to be bitter about that forever.
Oh my god.
DBZ was the best thing ever when it came to, the serious business fans. There were... Okay, so, there's fan subs where just people, before it was really common on the internet, back in the days of tapes, when you actually had to choose between an English dub and a sub, and it really actually mattered, and people would take the raws and make their own subtitles on the internet, and just sprinkle in the fucks like there was no tomorrow, and people believed that those were real literal translations and that Dragon Ball Z was hardcore. The most hardcore famous children's anime ever.
I thought Vegeta was hardcore. I still love Vegeta. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Poor man's going bald, though.
It's true. And I think we can blame Akira Toriyama's art on Akira, and it's all connected, and it all goes back. And, Akira. I think that was for a lot of people, it seems like everybody's anime problem is getting over that moment of, but there's blood and swearing, and that's weird, and well, no, that's not true. Everybody thinks it's either Pokemon or tentacles.
True. I was gonna say, what are you talking about? Samurai Champloo has swearing and blood all the time, and that's one of my most favorite animes ever.
Well, yeah, but when people are looking at it from the outside, they're like, oh, that's weird, what am I watching? This is a thing for kids.
I think older people have that problem especially, because they're like, this is a cartoon and it's Japanese.
Yeah, especially if something has a really shitty English track, so you go for the Japanese. And
I did get my dad we got him to enjoy Death Note. At least for 3 episodes.
That's true. It is the power. Yeah, it's really, a lot of times it's just getting somebody to sit there that long.
I thought it was hilarious how he kept making comments on, you guys are so weird, but he wouldn't leave the living room and just sat down with us and my brother and kept watching Death Note.
And that's America. We're just asking you.
Yeah.
We're asking you. We love this thing, and you too can love this thing.
No, I think if you're gonna get into anime, you really need to go in with an open mind. You can't go in thinking, oh, this is retarded. Mm-hmm. Because you're just gonna think it's retarded. You will probably secretly enjoy it, but you will never truly admit to yourself that you actually like it. Mm-hmm. And it's all about the individual, how you are as an individual, which animes you're going to get into.
Yeah, well, that's what we wanted to talk about is there's a bunch of stuff depending on what you're into, what you can get into. And it's so different now from when we were kids. It would be like, I'm going to comb the garage sales and I'll get this tape that has 2 episodes on it. And it'll cost me $30.
She actually did that.
I did. It was great. I combed through this giant box and I had Ranma 1/2, which is the most boobtastic anime you could ever mistakenly choose to show your mother.
Oh, God.
That was a bad plan.
I forgot about that.
But it was great. But now, you've got they put anime up online with subtitles the day or a couple days after it airs in Japan, and you can really stay on top of things. A lot of things are available, unless it was released between 1999 and 2006, and the licenses have gone out of print, in which case you're fucked. But, the magic of the internet, there's always something. But let's start with that first step. So we're going to try and take a look at different things that Americans might enjoy, and maybe suggest a few things that, if you're into that kind of thing, you might like in terms of anime, and hopefully will be mildly amusing along the way, anyhow. And we hope you put up with us. It's great talking to you. Sayonara, bye-bye.
Goodbye.